Good morning, everyone. I am Ian Kulibao, Graduate Program Coordinator and Assistant to the Dean of the Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication Graduate School. We welcome you to the AIJC Masterclass and online information session. The session topic for this morning is how to use mind maps for excellent writing. We hope that you will enjoy your morning with us. So just a quick review of our house rules. So before we start the webinar, check on the gadget you are using. Make sure the battery is fully charged. Choose a spot where an internet signal is strong and with low background noise. The recommended browser to use is Chrome. And then during the webinar, upon entering, all audio shall be put on mute. Questions and remarks may be posted in the chat box. If logged out of the session due to connectivity issues, rejoin by clicking on the webinar link. If you encounter technical difficulties, simply post a message in the chat box and our team will assist you. And then after the session, just leave the virtual meeting room by clicking on the leave icon at the bottom of the Zoom window. Okay, so to open our masterclass, may I introduce our first speaker. He is the president of AIJC and the Secretary General of the Asian Media Information and Communication Center. He is also the chairperson of the Commission on Higher Education Technical Working Group on Communication. Please welcome Mr. Ramon Tuazon.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Ian. Good morning, dear colleagues. Welcome to our masterclass on mind maps and information session. Thank you for joining us this Monday morning. I'm sure this will be a fruitful and engaging activity, which will be worth your time. Allow me to introduce you to the Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication. Let me share my screen. Can you see it now? Okay. Okay, the AIJC was established in 1980, which makes us 40-year-old institution today. It was established by icons in communication and journalism in the Philippines and perhaps even in Asia, no? Not only in the Philippines. So who are our illustrious founders? Let me start with the rightmost person in your screen, Jose Luna Castro. Jose Luna Castro is known as the newspaperman's newspaperman, probably best recognized as the Dean of Journalists in the Philippines. He was the editor-in-chief of the old Manila Times, let me emphasize old, the pre-martial law Manila Times, to distinguish it from the current Manila Times. Joe Luna, or JLC as we call him, JLC is the founding president of AIJC. At the center, at the middle, is Salvador P. Lopez, whom we call SP. SP Lopez is the founding chair of the AIJC. He's an illustrious journalist and literary giant. SP served as a Secretary of Foreign Affairs, UN Ambassador of the Philippines, but is most well known as President of the University of the Philippines, especially during the first quarter storm, the UP Commune, and so on and so forth. The baby boomers and the more previous generation would always remember SP as one of the best presidents of the University of the Philippines. Dr. Florangel Rosario Braid is our founding executive dean. She's one of the well-known communication academics, communication scientists, but a practitioner also. Braid was founding president of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. She was a member of the 1986 Constitutional Commission, where she's credited for introducing provisions related to alternative learning system, non-formal education, cooperatives, science, and of course, provisions related to mass media. The institute is steered by these individuals. Mel V. Velarde. Mel Velarde is our chairman and CEO of AIJC. He is also the president and CEO of Now Corporation, which controls Now Telecom, which, as we all know, we have just welcomed as the fourth telco. William Torres is our vice chair. Bill, as he is fondly known or called, is the father of internet in the Philippines, having introduced internet in the Philippines decades ago. Our president emeritus is Dr. Florangel Braid, and I'm the president, but on leave as I've joined UNESCO for a while until end of the year. AIJC is founded on the philosophy that communication is a vital resource in development. This has always been our philosophy. This has been our frame, the activities, the programs that we initiate or we undertake at the Institute. We have 4 programs: graduate program, research policy and advocacy, professional development program, and ICT for development. Let me go to our graduate program, but Dr. Paz Diaz is our acting dean and vice president for academics will discuss this more details later on. The graduate program offers master's programs in communication and journalism. The program challenges traditional concept of graduate education because we offer innovative courses, innovative learning approaches, and teaching methods. Our research, policy, and advocacy generates knowledge and innovations that enrich development programs and provide policy options to government and private sector. Our professional development program, to be discussed later on by Ms. Moppet, expands knowledge and enhances competencies through short-term non-degree courses. And our ICT for development focuses on the application of ICT for development initiatives. Let me now go briefly to the graduate programs. As will be explained later, the AIJC offers the only ladderized graduate program in the Philippines today. So before you finish your course, you earn a graduate certificate. After completing 27 units, you earn a graduate diploma, and finally earn your master's degree after completing 39 units. Our AIJC Graduate School maintains partnership with Holy Angel University in Pampanga. We're almost on the 3rd year of our partnership with HOW, with Holy Angel University, one of the best universities in Central Luzon. We have a partnership with the Public Relations Society of the Philippines, which is the biggest and the only PR professional organization in the country. We have partnerships with the Philippine Women University. We're working on a relationship also with St. Louis University. And we serve as the technical secretariat for the Philippine Association of Communication Educators, or PACE, and the Philippines Communication Society. PACE is the biggest and the largest association of communication educators in the country, while the Philippines Communication Society is a multi-sectoral association of communication professionals, including practitioners, educators, and even enthusiasts in communication. Finally, AIJC manages the Asian Media Information and Communication Center. AMIC is a 50-year-old professional association which was established in 1971 in Singapore, but in 2015, AMIC board decided to transfer the AMIC in the Philippines under the aegis of AIJC and the Philippine Women University. AMIC publishes 2 very important journals in Asia, the Asian Journal of Communication and Media Asia. These are leading journals for communication scholars and academics in Asia. Our professional development program provides competency-based training areas in these areas, from corporate communication, communication planning, technical writing, news features, social media management, and so on, from very traditional topics or skills areas. We have also expanded to more knowledge-based, more recent skills or competencies, including data analytics, risk communication, and script writing for media, for video documentaries. We offer now online PDP courses in these areas: corporate communication, news and feature writing, communication planning, knowledge management practitioner certificate course, which is ongoing. By the way, the one handling the knowledge management course is no less than Serafin Talisayon, who is known as the father of KM in the Philippines for having pioneered in knowledge management in the country. Here are our PDP clients. We have government agencies, non-government organizations, international organizations, including different UN agencies, multilateral and bilateral agencies, including World Bank and ADB, and business and industry. I'm sure some of the organizations here present today are among the clients of AIJC, and we welcome and invite you to be part of our PDP clients in the near future. Let me go very fast to our research policy and advocacy, because this is the heart of the AIJC in terms of making relevant to development issues the country is currently facing. We have done a lot of programs and projects related to disaster and risk communication. If you notice, we work with UNICEF, with the Department of Health, and many other agencies in undertaking our disaster and risk communication programs. We have developed a DRR reporting for journalism curriculum in ASEAN in partnership with the UNDRR. We are very much engaged in the promotion of environmental sustainability, having had working projects with the DNR and related agencies. The DA BIFAR Fisheries Project was a 5-year project which brought us to 100 coastal communities throughout the country. Wow. We have also worked on the ozone desk, on climate change, on livelihood, on food security, on renewable energy, among others. The AIJC, true to its mandate, is leading in the formulation of policy options for communication sector. And we have developed a policy framework for the communication sector in the Philippines. We have undertaken almost every year national communication policy consultation. We have done research on policy options. And also, we have crafted a draft media and information literacy policy framework for the Philippines, which we hope can be adopted soon. Another very important area of concern of AIJC is promoting free and responsible journalism. In March this year, we completed for the EU, for the European Union, and the government of Denmark, the project Safeguarding Press Freedom in the Philippines. We hope to start this part 2 or phase 2 of this project in the months to come. We have, under this project, developed the Philippine Plan of Action on the Safety of Journalists. I hope you can see this. We are very proud of this Philippine Plan of Action because it's the first in the world and therefore the first in Asia. In 2012, the UN General Assembly mandated different member countries of UN to craft or develop their individual plan of action on the safety of journalists. For almost more than 10 years, no country has developed such a country program. It's the pride of the Philippines through AIJC and the international media support that we were able to develop the world's first plan of action on the safety of journalists. Just a few weeks ago, the Assistant Director General of UNESCO gave a talk, and again, he highlighted the Philippines as a model in developing or crafting a plan of action on the safety of journalists. We have also completed recently the project Champion Teachers for News Literacy, which was supported by Google, Love Frankie, and University of Hong Kong. And finally, we have integrated safety in the journalism curricula, not only for AIJC, but this has been adopted by CHED and has been endorsed as a possible subject, elective subject, among the 40 or so journalism departments or colleges in the country. So crimes and punishment, the killing of Filipino journalists. This is a multidisciplinary study on the killing of journalists, the first of its kind again. In fact, and this is the book, outstanding social scientists of the Philippines were mobilized to write case studies papers on answer the issue on why Filipino journalists are being killed. We invited sociologists, anthropologists, political scientists, economists, communication scholars, lawyers, and many others to examine this issue. UNESCO in Paris has taken note of this very pioneering study of the Philippines, of AIJC, and has encouraged other countries since to develop their own multidisciplinary study on the killing of journalists. We have done studies on the impact of reporting on Mamasapano, political economy of the news media, and for almost 30 years, the AIJC has been the facilitator of the annual Community Press Awards with the Philippine Press Institute. More projects includes the strengthening of journalism in Myanmar and in Bhutan. No? So we have gone beyond the Philippines and we provide services, journalism programs to our neighboring Asian countries. This is another area where AIJC has pioneered, media and information literacy. Modesty aside, I love it for the integration of MIL as a core subject in senior high school in the K-12 program. Before that, AIJC was involved in the crafting of the first ever MIL curriculum for teachers book, which was published by UNESCO in 2011 and which is now being updated, being revised. We have participated in the recently concluded Belgrade recommendation on the draft standards for meal curricula. The AIJC is one of the founders of GAPMIL, the Global Forum for Partnership on MIL, and among others. So we're very happy that we have taken the lead in media and information literacy, not only in the Philippines, but also in the Asian region. Recently, we launched the MIL competency framework for Myanmar, and we're doing the same for Bhutan. We're doing a lot on communication, communicating peace and development. We've done research studies, forums, and publications on peace, one of which is a book on commonalities between Christians and Muslims. We have always emphasized what makes us different from Muslims. It is about time to emphasize, to highlight what makes us the same, what are our commonalities with our Muslim brothers. We have done a communication program promoting the CMPL, the Code for Muslim Personal Laws, or the Sharia court system, and we have established a website on Muslim Mindanao for journalists and other communicators. We're very active in the promotion of rule of law and justice system. In fact, we received a recognition from the Supreme Court of the Philippines for the many programs and projects we have initiated for the Supreme Court. Another area that we are very much engaged is the alternative learning system. We have developed a courseware for the UNILAB, UMed. We have done a survey for UNICEF on internet access of Filipino children. Ongoing right now, and we're very happy with this project, is the distance education training program to address school disruption due to COVID-19. This is supported by Google and also INCO Education Accelerator, which is based in Paris, France. In this project of Google, we are training 250 public high school teachers in Makati. We have also trained 30 education specialists, also from the Schools Division Office of Makati. Right now, they're undergoing coaching. We have mobilized 18 coaches to train Makati high school teachers on how to develop digital learning materials, which they will use when school opens in October 5, a few days from now. We're also very much into culture and the arts. We have established the first media museum, a physical and virtual museum in the Philippines. Let me now go to, well, these are our clients. If you notice, we've worked with multilateral agencies, including World Bank and ADB, UN agencies, especially UNICEF, UNESCO, UNDP, UNFPA, bilateral agencies, including the EU, various German foundations, the Office of the President, Supreme Court, BIR, Bureau of Customs, and the different line agencies. We've worked with LGUs and non-government organizations. Very fast, I would like to highlight what makes us distinct, what makes us different from other educational or program institutions in communication. First, don't do research just for research's sake. Our outputs have been integrated in major documents and development plans and programs. As I mentioned earlier, Dr. Braid was a member of the 1986 Constitutional Commission. And we made sure that lessons and experiences we have done in different areas of development, including education and mass media, were integrated in the 1987 Philippine Constitution. I mentioned earlier the Philippine Plan of Action on the Safety of Journalists, a pioneering document. We have contributed to the Blueprint for Action on Judicial Reform and the Action Program for Judicial Reform, in particular, how to conduct public information work for the Supreme Court. In fact, AIJC was one of the major institutions which helped set up the Public Information Office of the Supreme Court. We are into Education for All program. We contributed in the Philippine Agenda 21, and so on and so forth. For our graduate program, which is very important today, which is our topic today, what makes us unique are one, we have integrated research outputs in the classroom as case studies. No? So what you learn inside the classroom are not only from the books, but based on actual lessons and experiences of AIJC in the field. Second, we have innovative and pioneering courses, and I'll explain further. We have academics and practitioners as faculty members. We have students involved in policy and action research. And this is something very, very unique to AIJC. No? Our faculty members are tapped as consultants, as resource persons in programs and projects of the research policy and advocacy, and also as research persons for professional development program. Our students are involved as researchers, research associate, trainers, coaches in the different programs and projects of RPA, of research policy and advocacy, that I have identified, that I have listed earlier, which is very interesting because you learn not only inside the classroom, but we have realized the students learn probably more outside the classroom when they are engaged in programs and projects that AIJC is providing. Right now, some of our coaches in the Google INCO project with the Schools Division of Makati includes our faculty members and our graduate students. And last, we use a mixed mode of delivery, face-to-face, print, online, ICT. because of the pandemic, our courses now are all online. These are our pioneering and innovative courses: KM, ICT, cross-cultural, crisis and risk communication, management of communication resources. As mentioned by Ian earlier, I'm chairperson of the CHED Technical Committee for Communication and Development Communication. The task of the technical committee is to help craft policies and the curricula for communication and journalism programs in the Philippines. And I've been chair, nakakahiya man, I've been chair of this technical committee for the past 13 years. And we're proud to say that many of the pioneering courses of AIJC have found their way in the curriculum at the undergraduate level and graduate level of the standard curriculum of CHED. So you could see similarities between AIJC master's curriculum with the graduate curriculum of other communication schools and department, because we have made sure that lessons and experiences of AIJC are brought into the picture and are considered in crafting the standards curriculum for graduate program and undergraduate program in communication and development communication. So we have publications. As I said, one of the additional publications we have is we co-produce with AMIC, the Asian Journal of Communication, and Media Asia. The Asian Journal of Communication has a very high index certificate from Scopus. We have very complete library and repository library, which we continue to update and upgrade. And we have strategic partnership with different organizations and institutions. Before I end, let me talk about the Public Relations Society of the Philippines. We have a MOA, a Memo of Agreement with PRSP, to possibly offer within the next few months the first Master of Professional Communication, even working towards a professional doctoral program. Recently, the Commission on Higher Education has approved CMO CHED Memo Order number 15, which allows schools nationwide to offer more typologies in graduate programs. Included in the new typologies are master's professional degree and doctoral professional degree. This would require less number of units, and I'm sure some of you would be very interested. You don't have to complete a thesis to get a master's professional degree, nor a dissertation for a professional doctoral degree. And the number of units have been reduced to 32 or 33 units only. We require capstone. And the PRSP AIJC graduate program will have as facilitators, as teachers, leading PR practitioners in the country. Diba? Maganda. Exciting, no? So yung mga PR gurus like Charlie Agatep, Ron Habal, who's a graduate of AIJC also, they are now being organized, they are now being mobilized to be among the first teachers of the AIJC PRSP Master in Communication degree, the Professional Master's Program. And we are discussing with PRSP to eventually offer a professional doctoral program. This is separate from the PhD, the academic track. Itong professional doctoral degree is intended for practitioners like you, like most of us. No? So it's what we call vertical integration. Meron kang master's professional, meron ka ring professional doctoral program. And I hope that our graduates in the master's program will be among our initial students to these professional graduate programs. So working with AIJC provides opportunities for world-class continuing education, leadership in communication for development, media and information literacy, opportunities to showcase how communication promotes good practices, access to research and project management services, access to policy and action research, which the Institute has undertaken for various clients, linkage with international and national networks, and participation in innovative and pioneering ICT programs. Again, we welcome you and we hope that today's masterclass is just a beginning for you to engage continuously in AIJC. Magandang umaga. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Salamat po.
Thank you, Sir Ramon. Okay, so our next speaker will talk about her experience as a graduate student of the AIJC. She is an AIJC alumna who graduated with highest distinction in our most recent graduation. She is also the corporate spokesperson of Stradmore Corporation, and we are very happy to have her here with us. Please welcome Miss Laurie Bundock.
Hi, good morning to all my fellow scholars and to
Morning.
our different PR practitioners. Actually, I'm seeing quite familiar names in the PR industry, and I'm so happy to welcome every one of you in this webinar. Well, I'm here to share my experience with the graduate program of AIJC. Let me just pull up my slide. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me begin by saying a few words about Mr. John Maxwell. He's a very famous author. He emphasized that choices define our destiny. So the moment we wake up, we are already faced with several options of how we will shape our day. It's either we get out of bed to do breakfast, or we just stay in bed simply because we want to relax because of the situation right now. There's COVID and everything. With COVID-19, we also are faced with several choices. So there's the choice of making sure that our family is safe from the pandemic. And the second is actually still living what is it like no normal days pa. So even when we talk about choosing a school where we want to spend uh, the rest of our lives, meaning if we want to go or take up our knowledge to the next level, there's also this choice of what particular institution do we want to get ourselves involved in. So if there's one thing that I learned about graduate school, it really is opening yourself to different perspectives. I got the chance to sit beside the Mr. Ron Habal, who happens to be one of the CEOs of a great company. So he owns Page One, and also sat beside communicators, educators, professionals from different fields of communication. And during our interactions inside the classroom, I never felt intimidated. I think that's the brand that AIJC is actually providing its students. It's like you are in a family, so the setup is also not that formal. But I'm not saying that the courses are not formal, because you will really learn a lot, not only from your professors, but also from your co-students. So each session is something that I always look forward to. And each session is really very transformative, because it does not only talk about theories, communication issues, but it's more of really putting yourself in the actual situation so that you're able to um, operationalize your communication skills. And skills per se are not just something that exists in a vacuum. So you need to also get the inputs of your classmates. So it's really learning from each other. And our professors also learn from us. Walang ere, kumbaga. Because sometimes the tendency when you go to a graduate school and you have this certain position wherever you are connected to, is this sense of parang I am entitled to everything. So you listen to me because what I'm saying is right. But it's not the same for AIJC. I felt that I really belonged in the classroom because my classmates had this sense of humility to really accept that we don't know everything. And the best way about learning is through experience, by really listening. Because you know what? There are a lot of communication skills that we practice every day. But I think the most important communication skill is listening. So if we open ourselves to different perspectives, then we give ourselves a chance to learn more. And like what I said, my relationship with my professors and my classmates at AIJC is more than just academics. So we are like a family. The setup of the graduate school uh, breakout rooms, you will really feel relaxed whenever you're there. So you can actually liken it to a dining table where everyone sits there. It's like a family. Then you share your thoughts. How did your day go? Or what can you say about this theory? Will this theory work for us? Actually, I was listening to the talk of Professor Ramon Tuazon, who is, by the way, I'm also very fortunate because this is one of my favorite photos right here. So I just put two photos. So the first one was with our communication issues class. So I remember Prof. Mon said that, Lori, kuhanan nyo nga ako ng picture with the entire class. Actually, there's this one photo na he was erasing the contents that he wrote on the whiteboard. And he said, Lori, kuhanan nyo nga ako ng picture. Uh, Parang what I can say here is that the communication issues course is really difficult if you will look at it as a course. But if you share your experience with your classmates, you also share the burden. So it's like, teamwork at its finest because we get to deliver results by working together. And I guess that is the AIJC brand that I will always be proud of. Wherever I go, I would always say, it's really different when you study at AIJC. So the other photo that I'm showing there is it's a graduation photo. So I think this was taken 2 years ago, and I can say that being in graduate school is the best decision that I ever made in my life. And if I'm given the chance to do my PhD again, I will still choose AIJC, not because of maybe it's for a lot of reasons, but it's a personal choice that I intend to make. That's why during my thesis defense, one of the panels would say or would ask me, when are you planning to take up your PhD? So I said, oh, well, I'm waiting for AIJC. And I feel this sense of loyalty to the institution that has honed me to become a better communicator that I am today. And I'm so proud to say that because of AIJC, I can assure you that you're going to be a professional that can not only talk about theories, but theories in action. So you can use your learnings from graduate school in doing your strategies, in crafting your marketing plans. So as you can see here, there's already a prelude to Dr. Paz's presentation later. Dr. Paz is actually my thesis advisor, and I'm very fortunate to have worked with several people from AIJC, Professor Ramon Pazan included. Miss Moppet Barles is also part of my panel that time. And I can say that with AIJC, you can be insured or assured of an education that can reshape your future. So for those of us who are tuned in to this webinar right now, I urge you to make the right choice. Choose AIJC. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Miss Lori, for sharing your AIJC experience with us. So if you have questions about our event today, just type it on the chat box and the AIJC Masterclass team will reply to your queries. We'd also like to announce that we received an overwhelming response for the AIJC Masterclass. So as we want to accommodate more participants, there shall be 2 other masterclasses in the coming weeks. Please wait for our announcement on this. Thank you. And now we go to the star of the show. The AIJC Masterclass proudly presents how to use mind maps for excellent writing. To handle the session is our very own Dr. Paz H. Diaz, Vice President for Academics. Dr. Paz has over 40 years of experience in the field of communications. She has worked in developing countries in Asia and Africa as a consultant and a trainer. She was a training specialist in the UP Institute for Small Scale Industries and a faculty member of the University of the Philippines College of Mass Communication. She was also formerly Dean of the Faculty of Management and Development Studies of the UP Open University. May we present Dr. Paz H. Diaz.
Hello, everyone. Miss Ollie is going to be the one who will handle my PowerPoint. Thanks to her in advance. So mind mapping is a very interesting way for us to write naturally. And it has been proven for ages. Some say even BC, there were already thinkers who used to think this way. No wonder, because this is how our brain works. Our brain works in circles and not in straight vertical lines. So here we are going to have a very short conversation on mind mapping. We will have a short dialogue with you. We will open our Mentimeter and invite you to contribute your thoughts. Ma'am Ollie will open the Mentimeter, and Miss Patty, our registrar, she will give you the code for which you will use to answer just give 5 words that you recall when you hear the words mind map. Anything at all, anything that comes to your mind. Okay? When you encode a word, press the tab key to go to the next box. Pressing the enter key will automatically submit the answers. You can sign in again and submit new words for the Mentimeter activity if you want to add some more. So let's have about 2 or 3 minutes, and Miss Ollie is going to gather your answers. The code is 1439369. So go to www.menti.com and use the code 1439369. Just key that in. There, just write the words that enter your mind and then click submit. There, we're starting. Come on, come on. Yes, we have 3 participants. Yes, it's growing. So ideas now have overtaken. Yes. Idea seems to be the most, yes. Yes, we are adding. 14 already have sent. Can we have some more? Relationships, that's very good. Colors. Wow, brainstorming has become small, but ideas has become big. Can we have a few more? There's only 23. What we're doing is a word cloud, where the most common word becomes the largest or the biggest frame here. It seems ideas is very strong. Concepts, relationship, organizing, directions, opinion, figures, colors. A few, maybe 2 minutes more to invite. We now have 40. Miss Ollie, 40.
We have 49, ma'am.
Oh, that's great.
50.
Okay, 50. Maybe we can, okay. Okay. Do you want to stop now for the meantime? Yeah, maybe. Maybe
Wow, we
we've
have
had enough.
one.
How
Yes, ma'am.
much?
We
How
have
many?
63.
60? Yay, great. Pero still nanalo ang ideas. Meaning to say, as human beings, this is still Homo sapiens. Okay, but we have sub-ideas like creativity, very good. Strategize, yes. Relationship, colors. Organizing, yes, very important. So you notice you do the mind map before you even outline. In the old days, we were taught to outline kaagad by our teachers. At least ako yun. But later on, uh, the education the education field realized that we can't impose an outline right away without stirring the creativity coming from our left brain. Even among children, you must allow them to doodle and to even draw on the walls and make the wall um, dirty with all their colors and so on, because that develops their left brain. Now, the right brain takes over a little bit later when we have to have uh, we have to have order, and we have to line up our ideas a little more functionally, a little more organized way. So this is a very nice wordle. This is a very nice word cloud. We are going to save it, and it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be a source of information for much later for us. So shall we continue, Miss Ollie? Okay, we're done with that. So now we are going to learn to release our expressive powers. Next, please. Yeah, some people call it mind mapping, some people call it concept mapping, some people call it spray diagrams or spider diagrams, because actually we think in webs. Our brain does not really think in straight lines, agad-agad. We think in webs, and from the web comes out the the major or the basic thoughts that we want to share with our teammates. Next, please. Okay, so what happens in your brain when you taste a ripe pear, smell flowers, listen to music, watch a stream, touch a puppy, or simply reminisce? These are all functions of our left brain. The left brain gives us the power to connect and to realize that there are so many associations with all the other things that we might have in this world. And that's called ideation. Next, please. So this is the radiant thinking pattern that we are talking about, manifested in the mind map. Our minds naturally work in webs and not straight lines. That is why forcing our minds to make an outline first diminishes our creativity and will most probably give us very dried results. So we'll learn how to produce mind maps here. And just very quickly, I will show you the different patterns or the different uh, ways by which you can make a mind map. Next, please. We credit Tony Buzan for organizing the methods. Okay, but today there are so many um, programs, so many associations, you can just key in the words mind map in your computer for Google, and you will see so many entries, and you can explore any of those sites. Next, please. So you start with a central idea or topic in the middle of the map, which branches with branches that radiate from the center, containing further themes and concepts to be explored, typically in the form of words, short phrases, and images. This gives the mind maps a natural organizational structure. Next, please. So here, in a mind map, information is structured in a way that mirrors exactly how our brain functions, in a radiant rather than a linear manner. It literally maps out our thoughts using associations, connections, and triggers to stimulate further ideas. I have really found this very, very interesting myself. And when I'm assigned a topic, even a proposal to make, I, I, um, I really cannot start if I don't have a mind map. Plus, the mind map answers what we call the writer's block, which in a sense does not really exist if you have so many ideas pouring out from your left brain. Next, please. So, a mind map is an easy way to get information into and out of our brain. It's quick and it works. Makes taking notes interesting and not boring. Even when you're listening to a long lecture, if you mind map, you will see, you will get all in one piece of paper, in one page, all the ideas that the guy who's speaking in front of you is saying. Is the best way also to come up with project plans. Research shows that the brain likes to work on the basis of association, and it will connect every idea, memory, or piece of information to tens, hundreds, and even thousands of other ideas and concepts. That is why mind maps are beneficial for countless tasks. So here is a sample. You see the cloud in the center. I just made this up, so pardon the gulo, but really a mind map has to be magulo. So you have your center concept, and you radiate out, 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 out. You have subtopics, subtopics, and then you have branches, and then yung iba, they call it sons and daughters, and then nephews and nieces kasi nanganganak, and then grandchildren, etc. So there are many ways by which you can call those subtopics that your central topic has generated. Next, please. So this is a sample of Dave with his ideas on knowledge elicitation, knowledge representation, and knowledge comparison. So in the end, you can have a thesis, in fact, or a long, maybe it cannot be short because this has so many ideas. So you can have maybe a longish essay or paper on those three main concepts that Dave is thinking of. Next, please. Here is one style. It's called horizontal hierarchy. You can have two sides. You can have pros and cons. You can have benefits and drawbacks, challenges and drawbacks, and then sub ideas from there. Next, please. This is a horizontal hierarchy pa din, but then there are three main subtopics and two subtopics. You don't have to make it disorganized. This is just a way to share this with you. But generally, don't be scared that it has to be this organized right away, no? So kahit doodles, kahit if you think of a song, in between you write the notes down or you write the words down. Doesn't matter. You think of a picture, you write it, you draw it, you draw the sketch, so that your mind map gets to be more full, and it will manganganak yung ideas. So kanina we said ideas yung pinakamalaking word sa ating word cloud. So really that's true. The mind map is the source of all the ideas you might initially want to include in your writing. Next, please. This is a non-directional cycle. You have A, B, C, D, E, F. Maybe you have 6 main topics that you want to talk about, and there are certain subtopics there. If you use the computer-generated mind maps, it will end up this way. No, but if you do it by yourself with a piece of crayon and pencil and pen, you will probably have a more informal way of doing your mind map. Next, please. This is a what, where, when, why, who, and how diagram. You can even use this when you do an agenda for your meeting. You can say, what is the agenda, where will it be held, when, why, who, and how. But you can mix up I know journalists will start with who. So in my mind, it's really lagi who, what, when, where, why. Memorize ko yan from 1901 when I learned journalism 10,000 years ago. Next, please. Radiating circles are fun. Next, please. Here are more radiating circles. Next, please. And radiating circles with A and B, meaning 2 main topics, and you have subtopics there. You might realize and say to yourself, kaya pala, ang hirap pagka nagagawa ako ng outline kaagad. Buti pala magulo muna bago i-outline. Next, please. Hexagons naman ito, pero the same main idea, radiating from the central concept. Next, please. Beehive hexagons are fun. Next, please. Beehive hexagons 2. Yeah, you see all those little symbols there that someone has put in to remind him or her about what the topic is going to be. Next, please. Here is a semicycle, yeah. Pababa naman siya. Next, please. Meron siyang pataas. Pwede mo naman siyang pagdugtungin and have a full circle. Next, please. Yeah, some people like to put the brain in the center. For those who are squeamish, you might not like the figure of a brain there, but that's okay. It's just suggested to make us realize that it's really all coming from our brain. Next, please. Brain and veins. Very dramatic, no? Cloud also, lalo na ngayon with the cloud being very, very popular. Next, please. And several clouds. Next, please. Head and gears to show that ito medyo siguro gawa ito ng mga engineers, pero still, no? And you see all those little icons. A tree is very nice, no? It's very organic. Some people use flower, but this one, the next is roots. Yes, also very nice. Next, please. Light bulbs and circles around. Next, please. Hand-drawn circles. You can do it by hand, you know. Sometimes doing it by hand is also fun. Next, please. This is also hand-drawn circles. Next, please. This is really by hand. It's something I might do. Yes, next, please. This one is almost like a complete essay. You see, up there to your left, ano? Yeah, you will see parang, yeah, correct. That will be the introduction. Then you have the body, which has several subtopics, you see, coming out. And then the conclusion, having, I guess, 3 main conclusions at the bottom. So this one is already foretelling the outline, and it's almost ready to be turned into a paper, into an essay. Next, please. Yeah, but this one is too much. Okay? Try not to put in too much kasi ikaw rin ang maguguluhan. However, if there's so many ideas, it's okay. Pero for your paper, siguro you'll just get a section of it or a portion. Not the entire. Otherwise, parang encyclopedia na siguro ang gagawin mo niyan. Ano? Okay, next please. Yeah, this one is really marami. Pero if you follow, it makes sense, no? It's telling us what concept maps are all about. So it's about linking words, it's about concept labels, it's about propositions and hierarchy, and so on down the line. If you follow that, it's almost like um, it's almost like it's complete about concept maps. Next, please. Okay, kayo naman. What enters your mind when you see this picture? This is what we call a stimulus picture. Sometimes, when you want to stimulate your students to write something original, you can show them a picture that will evoke memories, ideas, associations, and will make someone think of something else besides what's there in the picture and make an essay out of that. So here I'm trying to encourage you, if you have a piece of paper or you have your mind map site, no, program, you might want to do something like this. Next, please. Here is something like what I was doing on my own. But I'm sure some of you, as I am talking, are already thinking of your own mind maps. So after I close this one, you can just tell our chat, or you can, maybe Miss Patty can ask one of our audience participants to share their mind map. Can you please know the next, Miss Ollie? Yeah, this is medyo what I did na medyo formal already, no? I did not use any program here. I just made this up on my own kasi siyempre at my age nahihirapan na rin ako masyado sa program. And some programs may bayad, some programs are free. Be good at finding the free ones. So Miss Patty might encourage some of the participants to share their screen and show us the kind of mind map they have done. Any questions? Or, yeah, is somebody making a mind map and wants to share? Just give a note or give a chat to Patty. She will ask Ma'am Ollie to share.
Dr. Paz?
Yes?
Yeah, there's a question from the floor.
Yes.
This is from Marlene Francia. I'll let Marlene speak. Marlene, we'll give you the mic, so we'll give you.
Hi, can you hear
Hi,
me?
Marlene.
Hi.
Hi. Medyo maingay dito eh. So, yeah. Anyway,
Laguna. You're in Laguna, right?
yes, I'm back in the Philippines.
Yeah, back from Zimbabwe. No.
No,
Ako,
Kenya.
You're in Kenya,
Yeah,
but we didn't see each other there.
I know, 13 years in Kenya.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Kenya is lovely.
I know.
I
Beautiful
love
weather.
Yes.
Beautiful weather. Pinapawisan ako.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, the Tanzania side. Anyway, Miss Paz, you know me so well.
Yes.
Because, di ba, nag-masters ako, naging
Yes.
tapos I never got to finish my thesis. Kasi gulong-gulo nga ako. Kasi, I think I like to think of myself as a creative person. Di ba? storyteller or maker of documentary videos, photographers, blah, 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 blah. Tas, ang dami-dami ko. I just have so many interests.
Yes.
And I don't know. Maybe if I was using mind maps before, maybe I could have had a focus. Kasi ganun ako, that's the way I think. I think in all sorts of directions. And anyway, so my question was, yung tinype ko was, but, you know, putting all those thoughts, things, family, nieces, of the niece, of the grandchild, of this thought, won't I be more overwhelmed?
No.
How do I go back? How do I go back to
Well,
the
if you-
beginning of the ball of string?
Well, if you're doing a thesis, you have your advisor there.
Uh-huh.
It's for the thesis. When you're doing a small essay, the topic will already have been given by your professor or by whoever is asking you to do the proposal, if it's a proposal, and therefore malilimit ka agad. You see?
Uh-huh.
So it really depends on the outcome, the product that you are after.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the focus will come in when the actual topic is placed in front of you. So let's see about children, no, the ones we saw a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Siguro for there you can have 3 or 4 subtopics, and siguro malilimit ka because the topic is so limiting kasi it's about children jumping for joy, etc. in the twilight, no? So medyo nakat-focus na. So for a thesis, the focus will really come from your advisor and from your topic. Kasi there are 10,000 topics that we will want to, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. And I've had students who change their topic every day, minsan every half day. Ma'am, iba na po. O sige, halika. Siyempre, with the advisor there, tapos ako, if I'm the advisor, I would say, you have only 6 months to do that, ha? So
That's
you cannot. So we will have to parang our temper, our creativity, and not include the whole world in our thesis. Because I would say that's just a small problem. A thesis is just to make the panel happy.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I'm joking. Don't get that. Take that seriously. But then after the panel has approved you and given you the blessing, you can go on and on and on and do your own, topics. Do your own thing na.
Because
Okay.
the more I discover or learn about the topic, parang I want to pursue,
No. Because there has to be a little bit more discipline in thesis writing if you want to graduate.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
Lori did when she was writing her thesis, and I am her advisor. And I say, Lori, you can't go beyond 1 payatas. Because she wanted to go to the whole Philippines. I said, no, you only have 6 months to do this, or I will say 3 months. Yeah. That is for a thesis. Pero for general writing, especially for, writing for magazines and for so on. But even for magazines, they will tell you 600 words. 6,000 words. Yeah. So that's the beauty of discipline. I love discipline.
Thank you for that.
I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
Finish na your thesis, ha? Promise.
Diyan na ako, AIJC.
JC.
I'm sold. Sige,
Okay,
thank you
so
for
much.
the opportunity.
Thank you, Marlene. All right.
Thank you, Marlene.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Paz. Okay, I think that was also insightful. So let's move on to your
maybe some of them have already. Yeah, some of them would like to share their slide.
Yes, ma'am. Will we be showing the slides, ma'am, or
at least 2 or 3
finishing first? I will be calling them, ma'am.
Kung meron.
Okay.
Meron bang nagtaas ng kamay?
All right. Yes, some people already sent their mind maps in
Ah,
advance.
how nice.
So they
Sige.
emailed it just now. Yeah.
Yes.
So our registrar will be showing it.
Oh,
Okay, great.
nice.
So this is okay. So these are from Mr. Emmanuel Santos, Mr. Arnaloveria, and Mr. Rainiel Pawid. So
Okay. Show.
Miss
Show
Patty,
and tell.
can you
Show
show
and
it to
tell.
us?
Can they speak? Can they be allowed to talk?
Uh, Hello, ma'am. Dr. Pass. So
Yes.
we'll
Yes.
yeah. So let's see first. Wait for the mind maps to be shown. Okay. So let's first go with Mr. Emmanuel Santos.
I'm showing it, ma'am. Sharing it. Wait lang po.
Okay.
Okay, hindi. Isa lang. Yan.
Yeah. So it's
Sana
currently
you
From
can you unmute Sir Emmanuel Santos so he can explain his
yes.
mind map?
Hello, good morning everybody. Good morning to our speaker.
Yes. Hi. Uy, ang dami ah. Very, very many ideas. O sige, explain.
Opo, first medyo to our speaker, medyo kumalma ako nung madinig ko na our brain pala ay okay lang na non-linear. Kasi nung una, nung di pa ako aware masyado sa full details nitong mind map, na medyo nag-worry ako, bakit ganun ako mag-isip? Spikes, web. Usually parang sa school, 1, 2, 3, 4, kaya medyo natuwa naman ako na madinig po sa inyo na ang mind map, ang utak pala natin ay non-linear.
Yes.
Opo, nakahanap po ako ng binabanggit nyo kanina na they are free, kaya immediately nagpunta po ako sa Google, natagpuan ko itong mind map, but the map is spelled as MUP. So it's a free version. And then when I saw the picture that you posted a while ago, I put children. Naisip ko po kagad yung play. And then sa play, hope.
Lahat ng naka-red, ano? Lahat ng
Lahat po
naka-red.
ng red.
Okay.
Nagkaroon po ako ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subtopics agad. So nilagay ko lang po siya randomly doon. Education, heaven, for whatever reason, di ko alam bakit pumasok siya sa utak ko kanina. So joy also, play, and then hope. And then for hope, nagkaroon po ako ng naisip ko na lagi-lagi sinasabi ni Dr. Rizal children. So nalagay ko po doon country, family, and then community. That's under hope. For education, naisip ko naman po it can be formal for them or it can be informal. Nagsanga naman po yung formal ko into public and private. And then public, nagsanga naman sa Metro Manila, rural areas ang nilagay ko po. And then more branches po. Nilalagay ko lang siya randomly kanina.
Siguro challenges,
Sa play, naisip po yung exercise. And then resulting to health. At under health, nagkaroon naman po ako ng 3 branches, body, mind, and soul.
Oh, wow.
Pero hindi ko po nalagyan ng branch yung soul kasi time constraints po.
Pero ang gandang essay nito about children, no? Lalabasan.
Ay, thank you.
Anong magiging first paragraph mo kaya? Anong intro mo dyan?
Ang naiisip ko po ay mag-focus dito sa sa play area. So, sa play, I can probably, naging interesting po sa akin na play as a, that it's a significant activity for children.
For children, yes.
Oo.
Yes.
Na,
it opens up their brain also. Sige.
Ang naiisip ko naman po ay probably my outline can look something like, play in relation to their body and then play in relation to their mind. Hindi ko po alam kung that's possible. And another subtopic can be play in relation to their soul.
Souls to their, yeah. Okay, I guess we thank you very much, Sir Emmanuel Santos, for sharing. Pero we are running out of time. Do you think, Ma'am Ian, we still have time for one more o hindi na?
Yes, ma'am. There will be time. I think there's still time for one more.
One more na lang.
Yes. Let's have the mind map of Mr. Arnel Loveria.
Si Arnel, yes.
Okay, I'll share.
Taga Makati yan.
It's Sir Arnel. Apo, nandiyan na Sir Arnel.
Nandiyan ba? Marlene, Francia, do you get the hang of it? She's not listening. Pero do the others?
Or perhaps,
Yes.
Dr. Paz, if perhaps
Yes.
if Mr. Arnel is
Not here.
maybe there's a glitch. Yes. Is maybe Mr. Rainiel Pawid can also
Okay.
share his mind.
Okay.
Okay.
This will
Sir
be the
Rainiel.
last.
Okay. Sir Rainiel. Here.
Mr. Pawid, we're excited to see what you have for us.
Sure.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Sharing.
Good morning.
Wait.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Here.
Ano nangyari? Iba yung kay Ariel. Rainiel.
Yes. Okay, what I did with this one, with my...
May echo ka? Blind kids. Yeah, for once we see kids who are not, with their apps. Rainiel?
Yes, may the past one, everyone, this is the conventional mind map that is being used inside the newsroom. So we have one main topic, then three sub topics. So for this one, I chose offline kids because, of course, they are playing outside. We don't see them having or they are dealing with their own gadgets. So I have three subtopics, which are first, entertainment. So in my concept, I want to show the traditional way of games that Filipino children are getting not used to by this age. So before, and in the photo, we will see they're doing habulan or the takuan or the agawan ng base. This is the traditional way. Then another subtopic will be on the communication side. So we will see, we can see barely on the photo that they are not using any social media site with their communication, no gadgets at all, and they are very busy or enjoying a personal talk or chit chats with the way we see on their gestures on the photo. Then another subtopic, this one is the very important one, the personal interaction. They are outside. They're not within the bounds of their homes. So they enjoy the nature, they enjoy interaction with animals or diversified group of people, not just within the confines of their home. So mind map in addition is also like a flow chart of idea. that we need to get into details. So we have one topic, then getting into details. That's it, Doc Paz.
Okay, thank you very much. As a reporter,
Oh,
you are
yes.
you are supposed to ano no to subdivide kaagad-agad in your mind to make it easy for the listeners to get the point.
Yes, Doc Paz.
So you do mind mapping that way. So it's about getting the story out awag dyan, in as quick way as possible. So you fill in the outline with your words na kaagad if you are called on cam kaagad. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pawad. So
Mr. Pawid, sorry, Dr. Paz.
Yes.
May I just interject, Mr. Pawid? Although I've mentioned your name kanina, perhaps it would be good also for you to introduce yourself to your fellow participants, and then identify your association or maybe where you're connected right now.
Right. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rainiel Pawid, a news reporter from CLTV 36. It's a local and the only station here in Central Luzon that is a standalone. So you can watch us, or I'll promote us, in a Signal Cable 115 nationwide. And I'm also a fellow of Vera Files. So good morning.
great.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Mr. Pawid.
CMs.
Okay, Dr. Paz.
Okay. Um, can we go back to our slides, Miss Ollie, so I can conclude? Yes. So please make your own mind map. If you want to, send it to us at gs@aijci. Don't forget the I at the end, no? That's the incorporated kasi. So aijci.com. If you allow us, we will upload them to our Facebook page. And you can also see your mind map there. And we can have a nice collection of mind maps siguro, just to show that we had outputs for our sessions today. So from the mind map, we will learn how to make the outline, and then we can write our own piece. So thank you very much for all your great attention. This is Dr. Paz. Ask Dr. Paz.
Dr. Paz, you're still not done. But yes, thank you so much, Dr. Paz, for a very, very enlightening masterclass. So even me, I learned a lot. So now it's time to learn more about the AIJC Graduate School. So I'd like to welcome once more Dr. Paz, who will briefly explain the school's program offering.
Yeah, this will be just very brief. So we have two ladderized programs, one MA in communication and one MA in journalism. Next, please. So for the MA in communication management, the program is a comprehensive approach to the study and practice of communication in general. It aims to enhance innovative, creative, and critical thinking, upgrade competencies in communication planning and management, communication policy analysis, education and training, and research and development, and promote adherence to ethical standards and responsibility. So from here, you become the head of the communication department of an organization, etc. So these are all our tawag dyan, our competencies. We won't read them all anymore one by one, but it's really for you to become a better communicator. Next. Now, the MA in journalism constitutes an advanced level of academic work which emphasizes the development of professional journalism competencies or practical skills. It focuses on knowledge and skills in news development, identification and analysis of current journalism issues, study and evaluation of journalism practices, and integration of information and communication technology in news development and newsroom management. But this is not just for reporters you can master in journalism if you are a professor of journalism in the undergraduate, for you to have more insights into the world of journalism. I think Professor our president, Mr. Ramon Tuazon, already explained it so well kanina. So these are all the competencies required from us. It is Ched who also wants us to have very specific competencies. Next, please. Now, this is what they are calling the ladderized program offerings. If may time ka lang for 15 required units and napasa mo yun lahat ha, dapat, you get a graduate certificate in communication. Tapos, pwede kang magpahinga sandali. Tapos, pasok ka ulit. You want a graduate diploma naman. All you need is 12 required units. So, idadagdag yun sa 15 units mo. Meron kang graduate diploma. Meron ka na ipagmamalaki. And then, syempre, you have to take the compre. The compre is a must, before you can go and take your MA. So MA in communication, 12 units na lang. Ang ibig sabihin ng 12 units is divided by 3, 4 subjects, no? Yon. So 3 units per subject kasi, or per course, it is called in master's degree. So with your MA in communication or MA in journalism, people look up to you as a forward-thinking person in the organization who can really lead, further in-depth ideas for your, well, we don't want to call them subordinates, but we call them team members nowadays. Next, please. So these are the units that you have to take, 15 units. For the first ladder, the graduate certificate in communication. You can guess what I teach there. I teach craft of writing. That's it. Okay, next please. There. You add 12 more units, you get the graduate diploma in communication. So all of these are 12 units means 4 subjects. Marami lang nakalagay dyan kasi pagpipilian. We call them elective courses. Any 2 of the following. So may required yung advanced comm theory. Sometimes I teach that, but not often. And then ICT planning. Those are required. And then you choose from the elective courses any 2 of those. So you have 4 subjects, you already get a graduate diploma. Next, please. Ganun din sa journalism. Yun naman ang mga electives sa journalism. Next, please. So, pagka naka-earn ka na ng graduate, graduate certificate at tapos graduate diploma, pwede kang mag-earn ng master, MA, Master of Arts in Communication o kaya Master of Arts in Journalism, dagdag ka lang ng 12 units. Bakit 12? Kasi yung thesis or special project. By the way, you can have a documentary as your special project, no? It doesn't have to be a thesis always. I have already advised one foreigner, she's a Turkish, and ang ginawa niya is about Yolanda. Pero she did not write just a thesis. She made a documentary out of her, kasi siya dun nagtulong experiences. So for the question of Marlene and others, your special project can be a documentary, can be an exhibit of photos, anything creative, okay? 6 units yon. If you do it nicely, then you get your Master of Arts in Journalism o kaya your Master of Arts in Communication. Anything else? I guess that's all. Yes. So that tells you exactly your path, your pathway towards your masters. And as Professor Tuazon said, we are serious in having a PhD soon.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Paz. We enjoyed listening about what the AIJC Graduate School offers. Well, let's welcome our next speaker, who is no less than the director of the Professional Development Program Unit of the AIJC herself, Ma'am Moppet Varles.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Ma'am Ian. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. I'll just share my screen. Okay. There you go. Okay, so I'm Moppet from the Professional Development Program Unit. So for those of you who are interested in short courses for professional development, we have the following training programs. Under the self-paced category, we have the online course on corporate communication in challenging times. We introduced this in April as part of our efforts to pivot to the new normal. So our trainees have 30 calendar days from start date to complete the course at their own pace and convenience. Very soon, we'll be introducing the online course on communication planning for the new normal. As we all know, this is one of the core competencies that communicators must develop. And then right now, our online knowledge management practitioner certification course is in progress. And this is in collaboration with the Corporate and Community Learning Foundation for Innovation, or the CCLFI. This is an 18-week course that includes 8 weeks of workplace practicum. And at the end of the course, the trainees will be certified KM practitioners. We also have the following training courses for the public, and we can customize these for your companies. So first is our online training on news writing, and it's happening on Wednesday, September 30. This is designed to hone the communicator's skills in writing news items that make it to national dailies. Course fee is 6,500 per participant. We still have some more slots, so please come on and sign up now. Next, we also have our online training on feature writing, and this is perfect for freelance writers and those who are regular contributors to company publications. The fee is also 6,500 pesos. And it's happening on October 14. For the remaining months of the year, we will be offering the following courses, both for the public and in-house, if you want it arranged for your company. So we'll have a training on communication planning for the new normal, that's in October. Then by November, we'll be introducing our training on effective business writing. Then come December, we have online training on data analytics as applied to communication, and our online training on photojournalism. Then before the year ends, we will release our training calendar for 2021. So for inquiries on our training programs, please send us an email through marketing@aijci.com. You can also visit our website at www.aijc.com.ph, or please drop by our Facebook page, Asian Institute of Journalism and Communication. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ma'am Moppet, for sharing the trainings that can be availed from the PDP.
My pleasure.
And that's it, everyone. If you have further questions on the program or the speakers, please feel free to contact us. We will also send you the handouts with more information on the programs and trainings offered by the AIJC. Thank you and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
President
Thank
Ramon,
you.
one last item, maybe President Ramon. President Ramon.
I think.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking if I can also show you last 2 slides, because this would be of interest to most of you. Ito yung gusto natin.
Of course, Sir Ramon.
Ito yung gusto nating i-offer sa graduate program. We recently approved this, meaning CHED recently approved this end of December. And before the end of the year, this will be given to all schools to consider offering. Pero tignan ninyo yung typology of graduate programs, ang dami-dami na, hindi ba? So yung sa master's degree, meron tayong MA academic track. Ito yung diniscuss namin ni Dr. Paz Diaz. And soon we will allow, CHED will allow schools to offer MA by research, Master of Science Academic, Masters of Science by Research. Ito yung sinasabi kong gagawin natin with, hopefully gagawin natin with PRSP, Masters Professional. Yan. Ang Masters Professional, meron kang compre, meron kang capstone project. Yung capstone project mo could be a PR plan or program or could be a PR portfolio. Diba? And then, 33 units ang kailangan. Hindi katulad na ngayon that you have to finish 39 units. Dito sa MA Academic or MA Research, 39. Pero sa Master's Professional, 33 units na lang. Mayroon ka ng Master's Professional. Tapos, practice-based siya. Yung others, meron kayong straight Bachelor's Master's. Ito yung honors program. Mag-enroll ka ng bachelor's degree, pag-graduate mo, may master's ka pa. But of course, we don't offer it at AIJC, but there may be other schools offering it. No? Ang isang pwedeng mangyari pa sa AIJC, if you will join us, is we have a dual master's thesis program. That means you have an MA Com, MA Join, or a dual master's thesis professional masters. Yung MA mo, MA Com, at saka master's professional in journalism or communication. So you finish 2 degrees. Or you finish dual professional masters. Masters in journalism, masters in communication. Wow. Diba? Ang dami ng leeway, ang daming typology na inopen sa atin ng CHED. Ito yung susunod. PhD or doctoral programs. No? Ang doctoral programs could be your traditional Doctor of Philosophy. Kanya PH, di ba? Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, academic track, or pwede ka mag-doctorate, doctoral by research. Pwede ring doctoral professional. Ito yung hindi ka PhD, hindi ka gagawa ng dissertation, pero meron ka lang tatawagin nating practice-based dissertation. Hindi siya academic dissertation. May capstone ka rin for doctoral professional. Tignan ninyo, aside from that, pwede nang mag-straight masters and PhD. Pwede rin mag-straight masters professional at professional doctoral. Again, this is what we hope to achieve with to do with PRSP. Mag-enroll tayo sa master's professional, then magdagdag tayo ng units, meron ka ng professional doctoral in public relations and marketing communication. Soon, we can also offer dual doctoral programs, double doctoral professional. Saka double doctoral, 1 PhD, and 1 professional. Again, this is not just for AIJC. CHED has approved this. We're just waiting for its final publication sa official gazette. Then graduate programs, graduate school can start offering this. It doesn't mean that everybody, all institutions can offer. Meron tayong sinet na mga guidelines and standards for institutions, for graduate schools to be allowed to offer these types of graduate programs. But we're very fortunate that we're working with PRSP to have a consortium para yung graduate program at the master's level and hopefully at the doctoral level will be very practical, no? Very practice-oriented. May theory pa rin, but application of theory ang gagamitin natin. So it's practical, theory application, and based on capstone programs and projects. In other words, what you are doing in your industry, in your work in your company can now be considered as your final requirement for graduation sa master's and doctoral degrees. Yan. So very exciting ang mangyayari sa graduate program, hindi lang sa AIJC, kung hindi sa other, sa graduate program in general, because of a more typologies which have been approved by the Commission on Higher Education. I think tapos na ako. Gusto ko lang i-share yung very good news na pwede nating i-avail sa susunod na mga araw.
Thank you for that great news, Sermon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we look forward to seeing all of you and those who have requested for publications, especially yung Philippine Plan of Action for Safety of Journalists. It's available online. I think you can even download it. Just Google it and you can download. The same with the crimes and punishment, the killing of Filipino journalists. They're also available online. You can just download them. Thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed this session. I was supposed to leave the session, but I decided to stay.
You were there all the time?
Yes,
Oh my
marami akong
God.
natutunan sa mind mapping, Dr. Paz. Maraming salamat.
Scared.
Thank you.
Okay,
Alright.
thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ramon. All right. So, everybody, so just for the participants, before once you leave, you will be receiving a poll. So we just like to invite you to please fill them out so that it will help us to serve you better when we give our next master classes. And we'll also be giving you announcements on that. I know that you would be very interested in the other topics that will be presented by the AIJC Masterclass. So thank
Miss
you so
Ia,
much.
Miss
Yes,
Ia,
Dr. Paz. Yes.
I have prepared a handout. They can also get it.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
can email the handout to them.
Yes, we will definitely also email you the handout. I think this was mentioned earlier, but we'd also like to emphasize it again. You'll be receiving handouts, and in fact, you'll also be receiving maybe a free ebook from us, one of the resources that was mentioned earlier. So thank you so much. You'll hear from us again also. We look forward to seeing you in the next AIJC master classes. Thanks once again and stay safe. So these are our contact details, just in case you have questions or you may have queries that you want us to answer, or even from Dr. Paz.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Dr. Paz. Miss
Thank
Mia,
you, thank you.
Miss
and
Lori.
Miss
Thank you,
Moppet.
Doc
Thank
Paz.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Lori.